My parents have given me a lot of freedom. I've made sure not to misuse it. No matter what happens in life, it's fine. You never be tensed for anything. If you make it, make it. If you don't make it, we are here for you. There's nothing called not making it. It's just that your life just takes a pause and you have to get up from there.
Yeah.
If I do something, I really want to do it wholeheartedly. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. So that's why I was still researching, even though I had an offer letter in the hand.
Welcome to the Lighthouse by upGrad, a unique podcast series that is built to illuminate your study abroad path with clarity and confidence. Today we have with us Nishchay Malik, a 20-year-old from Delhi-NCR, and he stood out to us because of his wake-up Sid energy, which is thoughtful, evolving, and quietly confident. Just like Sid from the movie, Nishchay is someone who grew up with comfort but chose purpose over it. He is currently pursuing his BSc in Information Technology from Northeastern University, the top-ranked university in the USA, and he's also a passionate storyteller and a budding filmmaker. Welcome, Nishchay. Thanks so much for catching up with us during the summer break. I'm so glad you could make it despite your, schedule during the summer break in India.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Nishchay, tell me what's up. I mean, how has life changed since you begun your, on-campus journey in Boston?
Since I've begun my on-campus journey on Boston, it has been a roller coaster to say the least. So many new experiences, new culture, new people, and I imagined that I'm gonna get to meet a lot of stuff. Yes, that happened. Get to meet a lot of people, experience a lot of stuff. Yes, that happened. But then a lot more than that. So it's
tell me about
very
this
exciting.
lot more than that. I'm really interested. Very curious to know.
So by a lot more, as in like as you said, I'm into filmmaking. So I have met wonderful people for my crew. I have access to like so many like equipments, Hollywood level equipments, and that's the filmmaking part. Other than that, also like Boston city in itself, it's one of the most beautiful cities I've been to. So yeah.
How are you exploring the city? Please tell me that. And also with your filmmaking and curriculum in place, how are you managing it all?
I'm quite lucky that I have this passion of filmmaking. It kind of allowed me to explore a bit more because we had shoots on riversides, on a lot of restaurants, and shooting something is like it's like a bahana to go out and explore stuff.
Yeah.
Like for example, the recent thing which I was shooting was trying out. I started a mini series over there, so it was like trying out American sports.
Okay.
I'm into sports also, so I took some of the American people with me to the shoot, and we were trying out ice skating, and then we were going and exploring how the vibe is in the stadium and stuff. So, and we were shooting it together. So it's like a bit of both. We are exploring as well as we are taking a chance to shoot. So yeah.
That's wonderful. But Nisha, tell me something. Were you always this person, or is this Boston ki hawa?
No, I've always been that person. Like from small instances, like I've been shooting since like I was 12, 13 years old. I've had a YouTube channel. I've always wanted to do something out of the box. Jaise we had Dashera. So Dashera mein, rather than just being in that place and doing that, all of my whole friend group was like, why should we not make our own Ravan? And first we made a Ravan which is like 5 feet. Next year it was like 10 feet and 15 feet. Then it was like 20 feet. So it kept on going. So doing something creative has always been a small part of me. So, yeah.
You were in Boston when you did this?
No.
When you were back here?
Yes.
Okay. That's wonderful. I think then you always have had this knack to do something.
Yeah.
That's not a part of the routine, and that's something that really pushes you like that, right? And helps you experience more.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. But Nish, I also wanted to understand, I get that you are doing a lot out there, but I also wanted to understand that, how is the curriculum at Northeastern, considering it is a QS ranked university, possibly one of the best in the US and globally. How is this curriculum and how are the academics standing out for you there?
So in terms of academics, you're obviously going to have some expectations if it is that highly ranked university.
Yes.
And I assure you, it's like I've done Indian curriculum. I have gone through that. But American curriculum, they have a very big focus on the practicality of it. Yes, of course, you are in like top 50 university in the US. So of course there would be some standard of teaching and the academics, that is a given. But on top of that, the focus on academics that is there, the focus on practicality that is there. It's like everything that they're teaching you, it's not because that's something in the book. They're teaching you and also telling you that this is how you will be using it and applying it in the workplace. Especially the college which I'm in Northeastern, it's College of Professional Studies. So one special thing about that college is all the professors who are teaching me are someone who have excelled in their own industry.
Okay.
For example, one of my professors in the last semester was the CFO of Lockheed Martin.
Okay.
So he was teaching me corporate finance.
That's wonderful.
So people like that, and incentivizing the application of what we are learning, that's the approach which I really like about the curriculum.
So that's teaching with a purpose. I mean, you exactly know where you want to use it, where they know where you should ideally be using it, or when you go out in the world, what will be the application like, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, Nisha, tell me, what does your typical day at Northeastern looks like? I mean, what all do you do? What is your routine like mostly?
So, like, I'm someone who is from the creative field, so I don't have a set pattern which I follow, like waking up at the same time every day or doing the things which are at a set time every single day. So it depends on what I have for that 1 week. For example, some of my shoots might be in the morning, so I might shift things to the afternoon, or if the shoots are in the afternoon, I might shift some of the things to in the morning. But usually, if I have to tell you,
you were adjusting it all around your classes, right?
yes.
So yes. So how does it look like? I mean, the entire routine, including your classes, your shoots, and all the other things that you want to do and explore.
So I'll tell you how a typical day looks like. I try to wake up at 10 p.m. and
PM?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Okay.
I try to wake up at 10 a.m. and then I stay at the wall for 15 minutes straight. Then I get ready and cook myself some breakfast. If I'm too lazy, I have these food which you can just heat in the oven and just eat.
Okay.
So if I'm too lazy, I'll do that. But then usually I prefer to cook.
Okay, that's good.
So then I get ready for what's for me in the day. If there's no shoot in the afternoon, which typically there's not, then I still go to the university.
Yes.
I go to the either library to do my assignments for the day, or if I don't have a lot of assignments, I go to my club's office, which is NUTV, Northeastern Television. So there I might be editing something. There's always something or the other going on for editing. And after that, I have my classes. And then I do my classes. And after I'm done with the classes, I spend some time in the part-time that I do. After that, I might have some shoots at around 8 p.m. to maybe, for example, 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. Then if I still have some assignments left, I would still go to the library and try to finish them, because, I can do the assignments at my home, but I prefer it to be there. It's a really beautiful place.
Okay.
So then it's typically 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I book a shuttle service from Northeastern. They drop me at home. It's like a service they provide.
Okay.
I don't have to pay anything for that.
Right. Okay.
So they drop me at my doorstep, and then I just go and just sleep. Yeah.
So Nishchay, this looks very tight to me, but I still have 3 follow-up questions. First, your proficiency level at cooking. I mean, how good or bad are you? I mean, where are you placed?
Okay. Do I have to answer this?
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason why I asked you this was because the answer is not that good.
Okay, that's okay.
When I started cooking, at least, it was not that good. I tried cooking once in India.
Yeah.
I tried to make a pizza, and I somehow, that microwave caught fire.
Oh.
So that tells a lot about my cooking proficiency. But then, and I was so unconfident about my skills that I even had an Instagram poll in the stories that, am I going to burn something today? And most of my friends said yes. And I ended up burning it. So that was funny. But then when I came to America, I did not instantly started cooking because right now when I told you how my day is like,
Yeah.
it might sound packed, but then
Yeah.
I did not start doing everything all together.
by yourself, yeah.
I slowly incorporated stuff, like if it became part of my day, if it did not feel like work, then I added new stuff. So cooking was something I was not doing initially. That was a really good way to put it. But then if I'm being completely honest, I was eating out a lot since mummy डांटने के लिए नहीं थी अमेरिका में. But I slowly, like after a month or two, मेरा बाहर का, like there's
You were
so
done.
much you can eat
Yeah,
from
yeah.
outside. So I started cooking. My mom taught me on video calls everything.
Okay. That's so sweet.
Yeah. And amazingly, like interestingly enough, I don't know how, I started cooking really well somehow. Maybe it was my mom teaching me and I was not using YouTube tutorials for a change. That made a change. But then, yeah.
कहते हैं ना कि ज़रूरत ही आविष्कार की जननी होती है. आई थिंक यू रियली देयर वाज अ नीड फॉर इट. दैट वाज द नीड ऑफ द आवर फॉर यू.
That is true.
अच्छा, also you told me that there's a cab service that Northeastern provides for free. So, are you living somewhere near Northeastern campus, in Northeastern or nearby areas? I mean, how is it? Are they providing cab services all across the nearby locations or to the campus itself?
So I think it's a 5 kilometer radius or something like that, till which they drop. I live like 20 minutes away.
Okay.
So
at any
it's
point you
in
can
that
book
range.
a cab. You can ask for a cab.
It's not
service.
at any point. It's usually at night time when there's public transport is closing and stuff.
Okay.
But then usually if that's like a last resort. Otherwise I try to take T. T is something is the letter T, which is for the tram in Boston.
Okay.
So, and that's technically you're supposed to pay it, but then you're supposed to scan your card when entering the tram, but then like no one does it. So it's like technically free.
Okay.
So,
That's good. That saves some money.
Yeah. And even if you're paying every time, it's like $1.
It's nominal.
So yeah, it's
Okay,
gonna
that's very affordable.
be like $25-30 a month.
Yeah,
It's not a lot.
Yeah. So Nishchay, you talked about cooking. You also talked about like how you're staying in the campus for during late hours and all of those things combined. Is there a sense of better freedom, better independence that you felt while you were here?
I can say for a lot of my classmates, yes. For me, I was someone who has been a person, if I wanted to go somewhere, I just grabbed my car keys and just went. So I always, my parents have given me a lot of freedom. I've made sure not to misuse it. Like, I'm not into partying and stuff. Like mostly I spend a lot of my free time in some sort of creative field. So I've not misused it, but then in terms of freedom, I've always had freedom, I'd say that.
But then, I mean, also being self-dependent, I mean, not depending on anybody else for any of your chores. I mean, there you have nobody but yourself. To be finding solace in your own company, in your own self, in your own skills, feeling more confident about what you can do. Today, you can proudly say that you are decent at cooking today, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, is this not where you are becoming a different or a better version of yourself?
Yeah, definitely. If you put it like that, then yes. Like in terms of all of this thing, living by myself, getting independent in terms of being able to cook my food or, things like that, Managing my stuff, like maybe folding clothes is one thing that I had to learn.
These are
very
small
things that you have to do.
And these are a big part of your daily routine and they do take up some time of your life, I'd say, So, I mean, just getting to do all by yourself, I personally have felt a lot of, confidence when I start doing things by myself. And I'm so sure you feel the same. That's wonderful. So, Nishchay, you come across as a very, outgoing person and all those things. So, tell me, how was blending in and how was, culturally integrating yourself into the city life and the campus? Did that come easy to you?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because in India, how we expect, there's very minute cultural differences that in India, we can just go and approach someone. In America, you would find that people are a little bit more conservative on that side.
Okay.
Especially in the classes. Like in India, how we make usually friends in the university is like we have the same classroom.
Yes.
And we can go and talk to them.
Yeah.
But in America, we have different classes for different lectures. So you're not meeting them every single day. And even if you are, they're there for that, like those 2 hours when the professor is speaking. As soon as they leave, there's students also leave. So for the first month, I was like left wondering that how should I make friends? And like, yeah, I'm having those small talks, but then that's limited to those small talks. How do I make friends? The answer to that is, in America, if you have to make friends, you have to join student clubs or you have to take part in events and stuff like that.
Okay.
In classes, yes, you can have friends, but then since you don't have that common schedule, so you cannot you don't have a lot of things in common.
Okay.
But
so this is a pro tip for networking, join clubs.
For sure. Not just clubs, like anything. There's a event, at least a single event every 2 days in the university. Sometimes it's a festival, or sometimes it's maybe a panel or anything like that. Just go and explore.
Just participate. I mean, put yourself out there.
And once you start talking to people, America is not that culturally different from us in that sense, because we might think that, okay, it's a 14-hour flight, 15-hour flight or whatever. It's so far away. It's exactly on the opposite side of the globe. So they might be very different from us in a lot of ways. Yes, some cultural references, like maybe their movie references and stuff. Sometimes I don't understand, but then I'm learning it. But then other than that, most of it we know because we consume a lot of American content today.
Yeah.
Netflix, YouTube, anything we see, we are quite aware of whatever is happening. So it was nothing very new to me. I wasn't like how do they talk, or like what do they do? So I wasn't very well unaware of that. But then
That's nice, and these are very, very, these are insider insights. Not many who have not gone, who have not flown, who have not lived, will certainly not have a good idea on all of those. Nishchay, I also know for a fact that you were initially set on Canada, right? But then why did you pivot to USA for that matter? I mean, and how did upGrad accelerated program happen? Why did you choose to go via upGrad, while I think you were also in touch with other consultants?
So I did not know that transfer program is a thing.
Okay.
Especially in India, we're not aware of that. So I was doing that conventional thing, doing my whole undergrad from a single university. That's what I was planning. The reason why I was looking at Canada and not US was, firstly, my grades. So I had 89% in my 12th, which is not really bad, but also not really good enough to like guarantee you a seat in a university like Northeastern.
Yeah.
So naturally, Canada is going to have a little less competition in terms of that. That's what I imagine, at least, if I'm targeting good universities. So that's why I talked to a lot of people and a lot of consultants too. And they also recommended me Canada for the same reason. And I was applying to Canada through their help. I got offer letters, but then naturally it was not very highly ranked university.
Yeah, okay.
So this thing I had in mind, that if I'm paying so much, if I'm investing my 4 years in a place, then at least it should have some standards.
Yes.
It should be upheld to some standards at least. And my first choice was US. So like I was still like leaning towards that. But then I also understood
Settling in, but also not wanting to settle in. Yeah.
So that's the thing with me. If I do something, I really want to do it wholeheartedly. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. So that's why I was still researching, even though I had an offer letter in the hand.
Okay.
My whole visa process was going on side by side. Then I came across some advertisement online for this program, and I just like made a quick call. And those days, I was like making a lot of calls to a lot of consultants, everything and anything that I can find. So upGrad was one of them. They asked me that, where do you live? I was living in Delhi. So it was like 20-30 minutes away from the office. So they just invited me to the office so that we can talk properly.
All right.
They explained me this whole transfer model. And to be honest, upGrad has some brand value to it. So I was like, okay, they cannot be lying. But then also I did not understand how a transfer process works.
It was credit transfer.
Yeah. How credit transfer process works. I knew that, okay, if they're guaranteeing me that, I would be getting in. But then like having those insights would have really made me less nervous.
Yeah.
I was being provided with all the information. But then since it's not very common, I have never seen any of my friends do it.
Yes.
So, but then I took a leap of faith because I really wanted to go to America, and also Northeastern is a really good university. So if I'm getting into that with 89% marks, it's a steal deal. So that's why I said yes. And yeah, here I am studying in Northeastern after a year.
That's so good to know. Upgrad Accelerated Pathway is literally one of its type, and it's so good that we are able to provide that kind of help and support to learners like you, who are aspirational, who don't want to simply settle, and who have no limits to their ambitions. Nishchay, what's also interesting in your situation is, for especially for me, is that I have seen so many students wanting to apply for masters. I mean, but not several are keen on bachelors, right? Because I think they're a little nervous about how will they cope up, how will the new country treat them, all of those situations. In your case, you opted for bachelors when you were soon after your school, right? You opted for bachelors from outside soon after your 12th grades. So tell me, how did that happen? What really inspired you to kind of take that leap of studying abroad at that age wherein you were pretty young? You still are pretty young, I mean. But to make that decision on your own, or was it somebody's guidance that helped you through it?
So in terms of guidance, I had my parents. They've always, but then their approach has been, you do your proper research. As long as you are confident in whatever you're doing is right, we are there to support you in that. That's what their approach is. I'm really grateful in terms of that. But why I chose it in undergrad is because I understood this one thing. There has been a common trend recently. If you do enough market research, you would find out a lot of the companies, what they're looking for in a lot of employees these days is not just a piece of paper, which is a degree. They're looking for what you can bring to the table for them. So if you're able to acquire that knowledge early, they wouldn't mind it. If you're being paid $100,000, the company is expecting you to earn $150,000 a year for them. That's why they have kept you for that job.
Correct.
So if you're able to do that, all these factors, what degree you have, or what's your age, that doesn't matter as much. So I understood that, and I was like, why waste? Not completely waste, but then you get what I mean. Like,
yes.
Why spend my 4 years in a place where I can learn limitedly, whereas I could be spending those same 4 years and learning a lot, and learning a lot about the market.
More than academics.
Yeah.
And curriculum. That's true. That's very wise of you in this age that you are in.
And also, I've talked to a lot of people from postgrad. What usually happens is, first year, postgrad is for 2 years, right? First year, when they go to America or like anywhere for the postgrad, first year they're settling in. All of the things which I learned, cooking and doing these minuscule things, they are also doing it for the first time. So first year usually takes for people to settle in.
Yes.
And then second year, they're just instantly looking for the jobs.
Yeah.
That college experience of understanding that using the amenities which such an esteemed institution provides, all the resources, the Hollywood level equipments access, the example which I gave you, things like that, you would never be able to use that because you wouldn't have the time for it.
Because you are simply looking out for employment while you're not able to explore what's inside still for you, what's there for you. Right. So you get more time in bachelor's, right?
Yeah.
To be on campus and to be doing things that you want, and at the same time, employability can be at the center of it for you, while exploring other things, maybe on the periphery or at the core of things, right?
You can build everything around it.
Yeah, getting you. Nish, I've also heard that your visa story is quite interesting. Could you please take me through it?
Okay. The visa story when I was going to America, right? So at that time I was a little nervous since it was a time where I was I knew that in a few months I would be in America, but then there was a lot of nervousness around it. There was a lot of factors which was worrying me, that what if this doesn't happen? What if that doesn't happen? What if this doesn't go well? I'm not someone who thinks negatively all the time, but then these are the thoughts you cannot fight.
Yes.
It's natural for them to come, and such a crucial, at such a crucial point in life where you have already spent a year for something.
Yes.
So if I would not do that, I would have to maybe do that year again. Or maybe some workaround.
Yes.
But then I was a little nervous. And at that point, my visa process was going on. My nervousness was getting eased out because different departments from upGrad were contacting me for different stuff. So I was like, okay, this is getting somewhere. And the visa department called me at that time, and they helped me fill out some forms and applications, which are the formalities you need to complete to go to US or to apply for the visa. So there was one document which was missing, and we had to book the visa slots. So I booked the visa slots, and I don't remember the exact date, but then it was due within a few weeks, my biometric stuff.
Okay.
And I think some document or something or the other was missing, and that's why I was not able to. That's why I was not able to. Go to the next step and get that document ready. And when that happened, when I had the document, I was ready to fill that form and get the final document, which I have to show in the biometrics process. At that time, the website crashed, the government website. And
what a nightmare.
Yeah, and I really panicked at that time. And it's the government website, that visa website is notorious for doing that. But then in my case, it was crashed for 3 days straight.
Oh, God.
So I was panicking a lot, and then I called upGrad and I told them about the situation. And the guy who was helping me, he was like, I'm on a leave. And I was like, okay, what to do now? I was panicking even more. He was like, don't worry, I'll try to help you as much as I can. And that guy was traveling back to his hometown.
Okay.
And he borrowed someone's hotspot to get on a call with me. Then he was on call with me.
This is your upGrad hero.
Yeah. And he was making me go through all the formalities and stuff which I require, making me fill the forms which would require me to reschedule stuff. He was helping me do that, and he finally rescheduled it. And after a few days, when all of that was done, I had to go through another form. And my schedule was very jam-packed at that time, and that guy sat on Zoom call with me at 1 a.m. because it was my mom's birthday. I remember they were cutting the cake over there, and I was on a Zoom call, and that guy was so dedicated. He was like sitting on a Zoom call. He understood that I was busy, and at 1 a.m. he was helping me. And after the whole process was done, I got my visa finally. I then called him to thank him for everything, and I told him I got my visa, and he was like, congratulations. And he was like, Nishchay, by the way, I wasn't even the guy who was appointed to you.
Okay.
You were appointed someone else from the same department, but then I called you just to check up, and you assumed that I was someone who was responsible for it. I was like, why didn't you tell me that? He was like, I saw your potential, and I saw how nervous you was. I did not want to add things to your plate.
Nervousness and complexity of things. That
so he just helped me, and I was like really impressed by whatever he was doing for me, because he was like on a leave going to his hometown, and I was really impressed by that. So that was a really nice story.
Yeah, I mean, we just hope we are able to reach out to so many more learners like yourself, I mean, who need help through these processes, through these cumbersome, complicated things that sound a little daunting and are a little daunting when it comes to, going through the entire process. So, Nishchay, before we wrap up, I simply wanted to understand if you could tell me your lighthouse moment or your lighthouse person who helped you or took you through the darkest of your times during your study abroad journey.
For me, it would definitely be my parents. As I told you, they have always been very supportive. So that's a given. They were very supportive and everything throughout. But then at a point when I was completing my 12th, I was like making these decisions. I need those confirmation biases. I needed those reassurances that, okay, we are here for you, whatever happens, happens. And my mom spent hours of her day researching for me so that she could find a better thing for me, because she really know how badly I wanted to pursue that. So she was investing all of her time, and she was even more worried than I was. And my dad, on the other hand, when I was going to America, he has always said this one thing to me, that no matter what happens in life, it's fine. never be tensed for anything. If you make it. If you don't make it, we are here for you. There's nothing called not making it. It's just that your life just takes a pause and you have to get up from there.
Yeah.
So he has always taught me that no matter, let's say, if you're going through that process, if you don't end up completing the degree, if you complete the degree, let's say, if you don't end up getting the job or anything, like worst case scenario for anything, you can still always trust yourself and trust us. And we are here, and you can always start from wherever you are. There's like not any age for doing anything. And here's like,
Absolutely.
You're going to America. A
Go with no burden, yeah.
A lot of students like take a lot of burden that
now you have to
they're
make something out of
this
it.
much, and like I owe so many people so much stuff. And here's like, don't be burdened for all of that.
Go with a light heart,
if you
light mind.
if you don't like it, if it is something you think it is not working out for you, just come back. It's fine. You can restart all over. So that has something which has really relieved me in a lot of ways. And that's why I'm able to do what I'm able to do.
Right.
I'm able to join so many student clubs. I'm able to put myself out there and take part in a lot of events, in a lot of internships, in anything and everything I can. Because I know that, okay, studies are a part of it, but then I'm here to learn something.
Something more.
That's because of the conversations I've had with my dad and my mom.
Nisha, you're very lucky to have that support system. I must say that. And I hope like all our students get that support system either through us or through their parents or both of them, right? So wow, Nishchay, what an incredible journey. Also, Nishchay, we have a special message for you from our founder and chairperson, Ronnie Screwvala. Let's hear him out.
Nishchay, your bold choices reflect not just courage, but a deep belief in yourself. It's clear you're ready to carve your own path and redefine success on your terms. It's inspiring to see someone so young already living life on their own terms. Wishing you unstoppable momentum ahead.
Nishchay, next up is this 60-second sprint. I want you to answer in one word in one go and with your heart, all right?
Okay.
Don't wait up. So if you made a movie about your study abroad journey, what would the title be?
A roller coaster with a happy ending.
Okay, wonderful. How would you sum up your study abroad experience in one word or sentence?
Smooth, but then I was nervous.
Okay. Understandable. One thing you wish you knew before landing in the US?
It's just another place, but then a lot of opportunities.
Wonderful. Pani puri or hamburger?
Definitely hamburger.
Okay.
Not hamburger. Hamburger is beef.
So you don't... Acha, okay.
Yeah.
So we have today pani puri or burger?
A burger.
Burger, okay. What's your go-to spot to relax on the campus?
Definitely the library.
Okay. Which you've also talked about, that how beautiful it is, yes. What's the most unexpected lesson you have learned from studying abroad?
We focus a lot on the academics part, then there's a lot more to it.
Okay. What is that one thing you tried in the US that you would not dare in India?
Nothing.
No, nothing. Okay. Yes, of course, you've already had your wings. You're just expanding them. If you had to teach an American one thing about Indian culture in 10 seconds, what would that be?
Bollywood.
Bollywood, wonderful. If you had to sum up your study abroad journey in one emoji, what would that be?
The emoji with the glasses.
Wonderful. So this next section that we are about to get into is this study abroad starter pack. So this is for all those who are yet to begin their journey, all right? So first thing, if someone's on the fence about upskilling or switching careers, what would you say to them based on your experience?
I'd say just focus on learning and like whatever you do, it's gonna help you in some way or the other in your path in future. So.
Okay. Your top 5 tips for someone considering the US for studying?
Firstly, it's a really good place to be in. A lot of I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
A lot of market opportunities and a lot of practical approach. People who are very straightforward and the resources and amenities that you're going to get will be top class as well as the academics. That's a given. Right. It's going to be top class. And yeah, Did I say 5?
More or less, okay. Covers all. Tell me top tech courses based on your experience in the USA, considering yourself are doing a tech course, IT.
Top tech courses. Definitely the one which I'm doing, BSc IT. Then I've seen a lot of people doing biotech too. Biotech is something which is really gaining traction nowadays. Then computer science. Yeah, I feel like these are my top 3.
Okay. Your ideal profession and any dream organization you want to work for?
Netflix.
Okay. This is it from our side, Nishchay. Wow, Nishchay, what an incredible journey. From Delhi-NCR to Boston, a near Canada detour, and now shaping your future with upGrad accelerated pathway. So to everyone who's watched Nishchay's journey and feels inspired, remember that the right support can make all the difference.
I have a message from Ronnie sir. Like, I've not seen him, but yeah, he's my inspiration, to be honest.
How did that transformation happen for you?
Sending your child abroad to a new place, new culture, new people.
I think one should go with upGrad because it is the most flexible thing I have seen.
Okay, so it made me more confident that he was on the right path. When he said, Mama, I have planned to join upGrad, I want to go abroad, I said no.